This is Justin AMZN on Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. We had a pullback into this line and a rally, and a pullback into this line and a rally, and a pullback into this line and a rally that kind of slumped over. So today was a pretty uneventful day. There were some opportunities to buy right out the gate, bouncing off of 1665, but it just didn't continue on up. I mean, it went up. It didn't really continue going up like it did a couple times yesterday off of some key points. We pulled back into this three candle stair step, which was right into yesterday's high. This same area here is where we were bouncing. We actually bounced off of it again late in the day here, and then right into the close, we were right there again at that closing price. So, yeah, it just didn't continue higher. So, and it wasn't rolling over, having even more of a retest sort of a move either. So we had this consolidation, some higher lows, lower highs or relative highs. And then it looked like we were kind of breaking down through the 21. And then that continued back up above it. And then it just came down below, rolled over from below. But there were some harder places to buy in here today. Anywhere here where it got to be just a little more consolidated. There wasn't a clear location to be buying off of or selling off of, aside from maybe the high here, selling off from a previous high. And it makes sense if it could have consolidated or not consolidated. It did consolidate if it had just channeled up here like it did a few days back. But no, instead it just consolidated and then just sort of did this S curve sort of thing down. I don't even know what to describe this. Just these ebbs and flows here. Really indecisive. Really small candle of the day. Let's see. I think if I zoom out, can I see what I had? Yeah, so this is where we had consolidated, and it wasn't like we stayed within a straight range here and here. We broke below it, but you could draw. I had the lines in here and I deleted them yesterday, but you could see, you ran up to a point, you came back down. Once you got back in, you ran up, you ran down, ran up, ran down. It was really a channel. And today it just wasn't even a channel. It was just a consolidation that rolled over. So the highs we got into here were the same high we had retested up to kind of the opening price over here. So we were close to that range again today. Just couldn't get anything going to hold and continue on higher. We did make a higher high and higher low on the day. We just made a really indecisive candle right here at a really good place that we've made an indecisive candle before right here. This candle, this candle. So we've done this before at this price, indecisive here. We've done this when we're in this price range before. So there's just something about this price that's a common thing to happen. I mean, not so common. It happened back here on January 25th. It happened back here on November 29th. Happened back here on November 2nd. I said November, right? November, yeah. So from here, it could still continue on up. A little bit lower volume. The Morningstar reversal is technically kind of triggered in. The momentum is waning again. So, oh boy, something got stuck. There we go. Okay, I was a little worried it was going to get stuck there. Okay, back in here on the day. Great place to buy off the low. Looking at the calls. 1675 calls expiring this Friday. Didn't quite get down to 10, but you would have really had to been buying off of the low or off of that line, getting in somewhere in here like 11 or 12. And, a stop would have probably been a little more than $1. Had you had that, it would have worked. Let's say you got in 12 by 11 and it just happened to fill, up on this candle. That would have worked. and you would have made, or you could have made, 6, 7, 8R getting out anywhere up here, pulled back, almost had down to $100 risk with these candles a little bit too wide. But again, had you just been buying above this for this breakout at 15 by 14, that would have worked. And that ran up, not quite up to the high here, but from 15 ran up to 18, 19, 20. So a few different ways to get some R's there as well. So could have been doing something at the open, something here, even again something here. Again, just the smaller candles, 16 by 15 instead of 15 by 14. Maybe taking that up for an R or two. That would have been buying the pullbacks, and you really see this consolidation here on the lower highs and the higher lows. And then it looked like it was going to continue up, and then it didn't. So you're seeing some of the, the choppiness on the options. This is a 1675. It was in the money some of the day. It was out of the money some of the day. Looking at the puts lost value initially, recovered some, pulled back, and the lows were in this $11 to $12 range, which would have been a great place to be buying at 12 with a stop at 11 and just take an R, take an R, take an R, take an R, or 2R, or possibly 3. I mean, could have had maybe 3R here, an R here, an R here, 2R. Well, let's see, where's this? And even by at 12, maybe you would have had up to 2R here, but not here. So I don't know if you would have held that long. But anyway, and then right at the close, getting in 12 by 11, that made it up for 4R. So it was just a really choppy day, and you just got to find the value that's working or that has shown it's put in the value, put in a good low you can buy off of. So a few different ways to get an R with some puts, a few different ways to get some R's with the calls, and I'm just looking at the 1675 strikes. So, the 1675 is right through the middle of some of today's move. The 1650 put was too far away. The 1700 call was too far away. It just had such a small range on the day. It just made it harder to trade. So hopefully get some bigger movement tomorrow and bring a little bit easier setup. So, but like I was saying here, let me zoom into this. If we have the bounce off pull back and a bounce, if we have pull back and a bounce, 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 if we can get a pullback and a bounce off of 1665 to open up tomorrow like this, or pull back into wherever this is at, 1654, pull back to here and a bounce, that'd be a great entry. That'd be a great place to be buying. I don't know if it's going to pull back, and I don't know if it's going to bounce, but that setup has worked very well once. I'm going to count this as twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times over the last 3 days off of lines we've got. If it pulls back in another one, I mean, stick with that trend. It's working. Stick with that plan. It's working. I just don't know if it's going to pull back like that. So that's what we'll review tomorrow, see what it ends up doing. So hope you enjoyed this video. This is Just AMZN. Thanks.